Okay, do you happen to know what's based in Washington State?
This car was built in 1919 in St. Louis. It was built specifically for the city of Fort Collins and cost $6,000. That was a lot of money.
Got their money first.
And you have 2 of them. And you have 2 of them?
Well, the other one is a later model. It was built by the Brill Company in Philadelphia. In 1919, we bought 4 of these little Birney safety cars. And I'll tell you about that in a minute. We're in an electric streetcar. We get our electricity from the pole at the back of the car. That electricity is 600 volt direct current. It goes down to our 2 General Electric motors that drive the wheels. Now you're going to hear a funny noise rumbling under the floorboards. That's an air compressor. It has nothing to do with driving the streetcar, but it runs our 3 safety features. It runs the brakes, so even if the pole falls off, we can stop safely. It runs the doors, so we can always leave the car safely. And it runs our sanders. Under 4 of your seats, you'll see these red sand boxes. If we have wet leaves or snow or ice on the track, Tom can hit a pedal on the floor, squirt sand on the track, and give our wheels traction to keep moving. Now these 3 safety features were an innovation in 1919. The streetcar system was originally built in 1907 by the Denver and Interurban Railway Company. They built streetcar systems in all the major towns from Cheyenne, Wyoming, Fort Collins, Lafayette, Golden, Denver, Colorado Springs, to feed people into their Colorado and Southern passenger trains. Unfortunately, the Denver and Interurban system went out of business in 1918, partly because of the cars they were running and partly because of the passenger restrictions in World War I. Originally, the Denver and Interurban used very large 58-passenger double truck streetcars for all their interurban trolley systems, which was really fine for Denver, but for a town of Fort Collins of 6,000 people, that was crazy. The other problem was it required 2 motormen to operate. So in 1919, the city of Fort Collins passed their very first bond issue, bought out the streetcar system, scrapped the big 58-passenger double trucks, and bought these little 28-passenger Birney safety cars. The original 4 cars cost $6,000 apiece and arrived in June of 1919. I'll wait for the compressor. It was operational when it'll be a little difficult because since we're all volunteers, to get volunteers for 160.
You don't want me in it, right?
a year, but
Air conditioning coming right up.
Thank you.
It's still air conditioning.
Let's see.
we had to install a special streetcar signal here at Shield Street. This is the busiest street that we cross because twice during the 1980s we were hit by people who didn't see us. You know, we're so small and insignificant.
Yeah.
In fact, we had one lady take us to court because we caused the accident because we did not swerve to avoid her car.
Was Tom operating?
Well, why didn't you? That was before my time.
Yeah, I wasn't driving then.
Okay.
Right.
So how much support do you get from the city?
This car is actually a city artifact in our city museum.
Okay.
But we get no direct support from them. Fort Collins Municipal Railway Society is about 85 volunteers. We've never had a paid staff member, but we do all the work ourselves. In fact, we pay a rather large electric bill every summer for the privilege of driving the car. This is the passing lane that we would have had when the system was operational. There would have been a switch at either end of this passing lane.
Oh, wow.
We do get a lot of support from the city, but just no monetary support. We're actually a member of the Parks Department, sits on our board of directors and helps us out with a lot of things. For example, 5 years ago, we had a number of poles go down because of a snowstorm in May where the tree branches snapped our poles. We were trying to climb ladders to put those back together, and this guy came up to us and said, "Would a bucket truck help you?" And like 15 minutes later, a bucket truck shows up. You know, that's the kind of support we like to get.
Did they help with that signal?
Yes. Yeah. The city traffic department actually operates this. We just have to call them every once in a while and say, "Hey, it's not working, send your guy out." But yeah, primarily we're a bunch of volunteers. We had an agreement with the city of Fort Collins in 1984 when we wrote the agreement to operate the system on weekends and holidays. We were told we couldn't drive faster than a bicycle. In 1984, that was very slow because bicycling wasn't popular in Fort Collins. Now about 20% of the people in Fort Collins would like to work And on weekends, they go on big races and all of that. So we can drive faster now. But we don't, primarily because we're afraid we'll break something. And you know, you can't just go to AutoZone and get a new part. The streetcars were essential to life in Fort Collins because very few people owned an automobile and even fewer people operated a horse and carriage. So everybody from the president of the bank to the janitor at the high school and all of the students would ride to where they were going on the streetcar. You could get anywhere in the city of Fort Collins in about 15 minutes for a nickel. And that nickel lasted from 1907 right up until 1951.
These cars still in service?
Yes, this car, its last day in service was June 30th, 1951. But, for example, if you were on the telephone and lived on a streetcar line, you could call up your corner grocery store, like Beaver Market back there in Shields, place an order for your groceries. They would put it in a box with your name painted on the side, put it out here on the curb. The motorman would pick it up and drop it off on your front porch. And Amazon thinks they have a new idea. We were so important that during the most disastrous natural disaster in Fort Collins history. In 1924, it snowed 48 inches in one day. The city was paralyzed, and the city government made no attempt to plow the streets or get the streets open, but they hired 100 men at 25 cents an hour to shovel the streetcar lines so that the streetcars could continue to operate. We have some very hilarious pictures of passengers looking at getting off the streetcar, and the snow is 2 feet past the step. This house on your left is the Franklin Avery house. Franklin Avery was one of the founders of Fort Collins. He was a banker, a rancher, and a surveyor. Franklin Avery laid out the first street plant for Fort Collins, and he made Mountain Avenue twice as wide as any other street, so his delivery wagons would not have to back up and turn around. We are very thankful to Franklin Avery. Because of that, there was a boulevard with grass, and the streetcar tracks were not torn up in 1951 when the system was shut down. We're now at what we call the Howe Street end of the line. On weekends, we'll invite people to get off and go into Fort Collins and shop, get an ice cream, whatever. This is St. Joseph's Catholic Church. It was built in 1890.
Yeah, okay.
There's a sign.
Oh, yeah. I just took a picture of your sign.
Yeah, I like that other one too.
Oh yeah, that's right. That was her. That's right. She did a few episodes of Love Boat, actually.
I can see why I'm good here. probably was a great apartment building, but other than that, it was just an eyesore. The league decided that they streetcar ran plane in 1976 from London to Madrid. On the left-hand side of the airplane was no smoking, on the right-hand side of the airplane was smoking. What?
Do people ride locally?
Yes.
Somebody get on right down there?
Yes. We will get on and they'll want to go to the first market down there. Or they'll say, we want to get off and go to the street.